Today we're checking out one of the most underrated hotels in Tokyo, the Hyatt House Shibuya. We'll also explore the area and look at a few places to eat and things to check out. Big favor before we dive in is to give this a thumbs up to help with the algorithm, and if you want to upgrade your travel, then consider subscribing. Welcome to the deluxe room at the Hyatt House in Shibuya. So this is a pretty big room. We did end up getting upgraded, but let's start off with the view. Pretty much a cityscape with a lot of buildings and a pretty cool globe in the back. One benefit about Hyatt houses is that they are more for long-term stays, so there's a lot of amenities that focus on exactly that. I think you might be surprised by a few of them. Starting off the main area, we have this bed as well as a couch over here. Couch is pretty comfortable and it also is a pull-out couch. Is this a pull-out couch? Oh, it is a pull-out couch. Okay, I'll show you the pull-out couch later. Yeah, pretty comfortable couch. If you actually come sit down with me, you can see some cool touches. So right over here is going to be a drawer to put your stuff. So if you are staying for longer, then this is more useful. And over there is going to be room for your luggage or any other storage. One of my favorite features as a tech person is that there are USB-C plugs. So if you head over here, you have normal outlets and USB-C. That's super convenient. Over here is the TV. Pretty sizable. And back here is actually the closet. So not the biggest closet, it is pretty tucked in, but I think it's intentional. That way it has a cleaner vibe to it. So we have our stuff hung up and some of our other luggage here hidden. So it worked out pretty well. There also is a safe down here, pajamas, laundry bag, and an iron. Also a ton of storage up here if you are staying for longer. The Bluetooth speaker is also pretty retro looking, so it has an old school vibe, but it is Bluetooth speaker as well. Over here is the kitchen area. So you have a few different parts to it, which make it super convenient if you do want to cook more and maybe you are trying to stay in a bit. Right over here is going to be a sink as well as sponges and stuff to clean up any cups and any plates and stuff. There also are garbage areas for different things, soap bottles, cans, and compost. One big feature is going to be the stove right over here, and also the fan system up here to suck up the smells. With this, of course, you have some cutlery and you do have 3 sets of everything, which makes me think it is targeted towards families of 3. Tons of options if you want to cook. Next is going to be plates and bowls and cutting boards. And here you also have 3 of everything. Last up is pots and pans and strainer and everything else. If you don't want to properly cook and you just want to heat stuff up, that's also an option as well. So there is a microwave over here, and probably the coolest microwave I've ever seen, because I think it's more of an oven if anything. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. It doesn't really spin. It tells you to place your cup here and your flat tableware here. I've never seen that before, but maybe that's just me. Over here is a fridge, pretty large, and down here is freezer. Spinning over to this side, we have some free waters that were included, kettle for boiling water, espresso machine over here, and some espresso pods right over here. I like that they give you a bunch of different flavors. There also are some cups down here, and some wine glasses down here, and teas. If you do need ice, there are not ice machines on the floors. You actually have to go to the lobby to get ice. Lobby is on the top floor, and they give you some pretty fancy ice. So it's like whiskey glass type ice. Super thick and gigantic and also clear. So good ice. Pretty solid. Yeah, it was a bit funny because he was asking me how much ice I wanted, whether you wanted 50%, 75%. And I was like, I don't know, 75%, and that's what I got. One big difference from the standard room and the deluxe room is going to be this area and just the fact that you generally have more space. You do have a table here with 3 different seats, going back to the 3 bears or 3 people setup. And there are some plugs here as well. Again, maybe I'm someone that likes working while I'm at hotels and when I travel, but having plugs is super convenient rather than having to kind of move tables to make it work. Heading over here, we have the bathroom. So it is one of the newer toilets that go up by itself. It is heated. So I really like heated toilet seats because in the morning it feels nice. A lot of different settings, and you can also open and close the seat if you want, if you are using it for different reasons. There also is a sink right over here. The main bathroom is right back here. You have a few different areas here. First one is going to be the shower area. Not the biggest, but it's kind of just a giant square. You do have a tub as well as a shower. For the tub, I can barely straighten my legs, like I have to overextend to fit. So a bit tight, probably sit like this, or like this. But pretty deep, so that's good. Otherwise, the shower's over here. You can adjust it, move it up and down, and you have a good amount of room, but I can still touch the ceiling if that's helpful at all. If you're under 7, if you're under 6'6", you're good. All the shampoo, conditioner, and shower gel are from Kinetimid Skincare or Kinetimid Skincare. Or let me know how to pronounce this. It also is a see-through door, in case you're curious. Over here is the sink, pretty straightforward setup for the most part. One giant mirror, 2 glasses, soap is from the same brand, and then you have a bunch of other items like hairbrushes, toothpaste, toothbrush, razor, and cotton set. Down here you have a bunch of towels and also hair dryer. It's by Festino. Does this one have negative ions, Mandy? Last but not least is going to be the washer dryer. It's going to be an AEG 3000 series, tons of options, and they do provide you with detergent. Pretty sizable too, that's nice. It's also good that it's away from the bedroom area, so it is a bit separated, so if you are running at night, it's not going to bother your sleep. In case you're wondering, we are right over here at 914. So it is one of the bigger rooms because it's now a deluxe one, but the one we booked into and the one we initially got was 912, which is a standard room. And in fact, we actually got an email before getting here saying that upgrades are pretty unlikely given occupancy and how many rooms and people they have. So we are here. The reason we got moved from here to here is because this room smelled like food. So I think someone just finished cooking before checking out. And I guess they didn't turn on the ventilation. So it just smelled really strongly of food. We kind of went downstairs, explained it. They came upstairs with us and they're like, yeah, that makes sense. And then they just moved us over here. Speaking of which, we did end up booking this using Hyatt points. Main reason being that's amazing value, given the retail price, and the fact that a lot of people want to stay here. On that note, if you want to learn about cards to get Hyatt points or points that transfer over to Hyatt and you want to support the channel, we do have links on the website, asksebby.com, and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, but otherwise it is a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance. One of the reasons why people really like booking this hotel is kind of as a midway stop during the trip to do laundry. So especially for a lot of points people, you might be traveling to different hotels where they're nicer, they're fancier ones, but in order to do laundry, it's going to be prohibitively expensive, or it's going to be a little weird where you're trying to do it in the sink. So a lot of people do try to have 2 or 3 nights in the middle of their trip or at some point in their trip in order to kind of reset. The one catch though is that occupancy here is pretty high, between 95 and 100%, and they just opened a year ago. This means that it's pretty hard to book a points, and in fact, only about 5 to 10% of the rooms at their check-ins are going to be with points. Main idea being that they don't need to release points availability if they have a bunch of people willing to pay and happy to pay the market price. In case you're curious, the standard room is pretty much exactly the same, but just a lot smaller. You have the kitchenette, the fridge, the kettle, coffee machine, pretty much exactly everything else that we saw. It's just in a smaller, more compact package. It is substantially more streamlined, so once you walk in, you have most of your amenities on your left-hand side. Bed is going to be on the right-hand side, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I think there also is a couch, but I believe that one is not a pull-out couch. Bathroom's also a bit smaller as well, so yeah, just take this and shrink it down into one small setup. It's still not bad though, especially if you are looking for that reset, or alternatively, if you want to be in this area. Taking a look at the property, this might be one of the best extended stay hotels we've ever been to. Right downstairs is the lobby. Here you have a ton of areas to hang out or work. We saw plenty of people taking Zoom calls, especially at night. There's also an outside garden area as well as a bar with drinks. Reminder that if you have elite status, you do get a complimentary welcome drink. Behind this is H Market. This is a 24-hour convenience store that features grab-and-go options, including locally inspired, ready-to-eat snacks, baked goods, and bottled drinks. Taking a look at the pool, it's not the biggest, but it's super photogenic with the pillars and also the view of the city. Yeah, I think it looks pretty awesome at night. Daytime probably looks a bit more normal. At nighttime, it is definitely a vibe, especially with these little chairs and also the lights. Reminder, this does close at 8 p.m., so you can't really enjoy it too late, but it's still pretty nice. There also is a jacuzzi right over here. Let's give it a touch. Yeah, pretty warm. Let's touch the water here too. My socks are wet now. Yeah, it's not too warm, but warm enough. Definitely worth a visit if you like pools and if you want to relax and enjoy the view. Perfect way to kind of unwind after a long day of walking. The gym is pretty bare bones, but I actually think it kind of works. So it has pretty much most things you need. So you have some weights, you have a pretty nice mat on the floor, you have a bench, and some cardio options. You have 2 treads over here, and they're from Life Fitness, 1 elliptical right over here, and then spin, and then I think that's another spin over there too. Also water station right over here and towels. Reminder, in Japan they do use kgs instead of pounds, so 20 kgs is about 40 pounds.
So maybe not heavy enough for some people, but I think it's fine. So if you do lift super heavy, then maybe it's a maintenance day. They also look pretty nice still, which is good. Sometimes there's a lot of grime and it almost looks like it's rusting. Not really the case here.
The last key highlight is the restaurant on property, Moss Cross Tokyo. This is a Japanese-French restaurant that offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Note that the restaurant is technically independent of the hotel. Because of this, and unlike other Hyatt houses, breakfast is not included by default for all guests. Instead, only World of Hyatt Globalist members get free breakfast as a hotel benefit. With that said, let's check out breakfast. Breakfast is served from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and is buffet style. The selection isn't bad, but pales in comparison to luxury hotels like Conrad and even some mid-level ones like Hyatt Centric Ginza or AC Hotels Ginza. The hot dishes include scrambled and fried eggs, bacon, pork sausages, sauteed mushrooms, lasagna, French fries, and chicken nuggets. There's also a Japanese selection with items like miso soup and Japanese omelets. The salad bar is pretty simple with veggies and dressing. Bakery items weren't bad, and you have a few choices ranging from homemade white bread, croissants, baguettes, brioche, danishes, and pancakes. Also some cereal options with toppings and seeds. Main takeaway to me at least is that you're not missing much. This is one of the breakfasts I wouldn't recommend paying for, especially because you're in Shibuya and there's a ton of restaurants and grocery stores nearby.
One of the benefits of the hotel is that it is pretty conveniently located, so you're not right on top of a station, but it's about a 5 to 7 minute walk, and it's a pretty nice walk. So you pretty much just walk out on the elevator, and there's going to be this upper pathway that kind of guides you through and makes it pretty easy. You'll see this area, and there's actually a grocery store here too, so if you are here for a longer time and you want to buy groceries, don't want to eat out, then that's a good option. So it's the Tokyo store. Yeah, so pretty much a fully stocked grocery store. And it doesn't seem too bad to me, at least. I'm pretty sure you can find cheaper elsewhere, but it's not too aggressive. So maybe this is more of like a Whole Foods-esque with Western items. This also is part of a mall, and there are a lot of other shops here as well. So yeah, feel free to explore. Benefit of Tokyo is that everything is very vertical. So once you get to one area, you can probably hit up like 10 different shops depending on what you're looking for. So over here is a coffee farm and some souvenirs, and yeah, tons of other stuff. For example, this shop goes up 7 floors from the look of it. I don't know why they skipped 6. Maybe 6 is something else, but yeah, so I have 6 floors. Actually, a lot more because I forgot that it goes down to B2. So first floor is kind of the base level, and the second floor is the walkway that we're on. And then number 4 has the bookstore Mandy likes. B2 is the subway, so a lot of verticality.
That's so indie.
Yeah, I think that's intended.
Kitchen.
So lots of international cuisine too. The benefit of being on this level is that you can actually cross the street because there's no crosswalks down there. So you do actually have to use these as pedestrian crossways. Main area of a lot of food, restaurants, and the main crossing is going to be over there. So pretty much the other side of this road. Once you see Beams Japan, you know you're on the right track. If you go straight and then turn right, there's a lot of food options. Also a ton of construction right now, so pretty busy. For dessert, we're at L'Occitane and ordered 1 main, 1 to share, and then 2 coffees. Initially, we were going to order our own desserts, but it was actually a bit cheaper ordering the set of 4. So we have chocolate cake, creme brulee, a jelly, and then I think a fruit cake. One of the most interesting ones is going to be this one, which kind of reminds me of their eye serum, which I have used in the past and have at home. Yeah, it literally looks like their bottle. And it has like little dots too. That's kind of crazy. Let's start with the fruit cake because I feel like that's the lightest of the bunch. Pretty good, nice and subtle sweetness to it, like not too strong compared to other places. Yeah, I like it. I feel like I'm a big fan of Asian cakes for that reason. This piece has a bit of strawberry to it. Strawberry tastes really good. Okay, let's try this one. Not sure if I'm a fan of that one. Kind of like a herbal-y jelly. Okay, Mandy's telling me it's lavender. It's fine. Mind you, it's not bad. Like, I'm gonna finish eating it, but it would not be the first thing I'd order. Also, I don't think I'd order it again. That's fine. It's an experience. It's also pretty. I feel like if you like the more floral foods, then you'll like that. Next, we have creme brulee. Really custardy and eggy. That's pretty good. Good crust on it, and yeah, really great flavors. It's also not too sweet, which I'm a fan of. I have had some other creme brulees where my teeth hurt afterwards. Not the case here. Last one is a chocolate cake. Pretty good too. Dark chocolate flavors rather than sugar flavors. Yeah, I'm a fan. If I had to rank them, it's pretty much a three-way tie between chocolate cake, the fruit cake, and also the creme brulee. I guess I would probably say the chocolate cake and the fruit cake on top of the creme brulee, because I feel like I've had other good creme brulees before, and then a jelly one at the bottom. Sorry, jelly. Also, the reason we are here is because Mandy wanted to come for some desserts, partially, and the other reason is because it does have a view of Shibuya Crossing. So if you do want a view and kind of want to relax and people watch, you kind of have a few choices. It's generally one of the upper floor buildings, restaurants that overlook it. So the most standard choices and the one that a lot of people go with is Starbucks. Main problem is that there's like 30 people standing by the window of Starbucks taking pictures, so that's fine, but it's just also a little chaotic, and we've done it before. It's just not the most enjoyable experience when there's a lot of people. We opted for this because it was a little bit more expensive, but it's a lot more calm. But yeah, I feel like if you are looking to enjoy Shibuya Crossing and just people watch, this is perfect and probably one of the more underrated spots. Everyone knows about Starbucks, not everyone knows about this cafe. To be fair though, I think Starbucks does have a better view, kind of like more of a full frontal one. This is more of a side view. Okay, after having a few more bites, I'm kind of digging the creme brulee a little bit more. Like, there's a lot of nuance to it. So I think creme brulee number 1, chocolate one number 2, the fruit one number 3, and then the flower one number 4. Yeah, the creme brulee is really growing on me. The custard comes out really well, and the alcohol burn flavor, yeah, it's really good. Nice amount of complexity to it too. I think Mandy's also eyeing that one because we're figuring out which one's to split, who's eating what. So I think the rest is going to her.
Shibuya is known for its vibrant dining, offering a ton of options for restaurants. This ranges from affordable to premium and everything in between. Unlike a lot of other places in the world, I don't think you necessarily want to avoid chains. Before we left for Niseko, our friends brought us to an yakiniku-style izakaya chain called Sendai Horomon Yakiniku Sakaba Tokiwate. This place is known for 2 things. First is unlimited lemon sours, or 0-second lemon sour. This lets you pay a small fee, about 550 yen, for 60 minutes of self-serve lemon sours. That's less than $4 for all you can drink. They also have really good meat for fair prices. There definitely are more premium options if that's your jam, but this place scratches the itch. The specialty cut here and restaurant highlight is the beef tongue. If you're less adventurous, the skirt steaks, short rib, and pork belly is also delicious. But yeah, Japanese chains hit hard for quality relative to price. Another example of a chain that hits above its weight class is Gonzo Ebidashi Monja no Ebisen. The chain has 3 locations in total, the other 2 in Osaka and Yokohama. They specialize in manjayaki, which is a savory Japanese pan-fried pancake.
I ended up ordering a fresh pineapple sour, and I didn't realize fresh and hand squeeze meant that I was hand squeezing it in this little pail with the pineapple. So you pour it in yourself, and you give it a taste. Fresh pineapple hits different. So for the first one, they make it for you, and then subsequent ones, they make it yourself. After they make it, you wait about 3 minutes for it to harden, and that's exactly what's happened. And you take the spatula, you scrape the sides, and then if it's golden brown, that's perfect. If it falls off, it might still want to cook it a bit longer, but when it sticks to your spatula, that's when you know it's perfect and time to eat it. One thing to be careful with is not to burn yourself because you are using the spatula to eat it. That's really good. And the hard, sticky bits are actually the best parts. So the kind of the crunchy edges of most items. I guess another way to think of it is like the muffin top is the best part because it's the crispy bit. Cheers. That's really good. Last up is sukiyaki. So they grill a piece of meat, and then you have an egg, and you dip the meat into the egg. So this is the meat. Pretty good flavors, not the best cut, so I don't think we'd order another one. But in terms of presentation and experience, it's nice. We definitely have been to better sukiyaki places, so I would rather go back to those instead of getting it here. Also, I know raw eggs scare people, but in Japan, egg quality is a lot higher, processes are a bit different, so it's less of a concern. And then the idea too is that when you're dipping hot meat into the egg that you kind of pull back out is a bit more cooked. So it's more like a medium rare or rare rather than like a pure raw egg. Also, I think raw eggs are just pretty normal in Japanese culture, even with breakfast.
So I think the pineapple is finished already.
Perfectly good pineapple. Overall, the food's pretty solid and I definitely recommend coming. I don't think I get a sukiyaki, go to a different restaurant that focuses on that, but for everything else, it's great. I don't know the name of the restaurant because it's in Japanese. I think there is a translation, and that's gonna be at the bottom. Genso Idashi Monjano Ibisan Shibuya. It's in the Google building if that helps. There also is a pretty big line outside, so if you are trying to come for dinner, then come early. So it's 8:38 right now. And yeah, this area gets pretty busy. Pretty solid, good service, would recommend. 2 thumbs up. Also, in case you're wondering, this does have a 3.37 on table log, but table log ratings are a bit skewed downwards compared to the US ones. So, like if you compare it to Yelp, it's going to be very different. A 3 is considered acceptable and good for casual dining, so what you'd normally eat. A 3.5 plus is excellent and often indicates a highly recommended spot with possibly queues and reservations needed. So 3.5 is like really good. 3 is like normal, casual stuff. This kind of falls between those two, and I think that's pretty accurate. For context, anything with a 4 or above on table log is generally considered very, very good, Michelin level, and like award winning. So I'd agree with the ratings. It's solid for a casual spot. Is it gonna change your life? No, but not all meals have to.
Overall, the Hyatt House Shibuya is a great option if you value convenience and everyday features. If you're looking for something super premium though, then this might be a skip. It's not on the Park Hyatt level, but it's arguably the best Hyatt House we've been to. Availability with points is tough since it's a newer hotel, and there's only 125 rooms. Your best bet is either 1 year out or tracking for cancellations. If you can find it below $400, then it might make sense to pay out of pocket. If it's above that though, then it's a great use of World of Hyatt points. Luckily, there are a ton of cards that earn points that transfer to Hyatt. I'll link to a blog post down below with some of the best offers right now. On that note, if you want to learn about cards and you want to support the channel, we have links on the website asksebby.com and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, but otherwise, it's a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance. If you made it to this point, leave a lemon emoji in the comments down below and I'll try to heart it and respond. My questions for you, number 1, what are your thoughts on the Hyatt House? Do you have any favorite restaurants in Shibuya we should check out next time? Also, what's your favorite area of Tokyo? Big favor thumbs up, share this, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.